For
Yes.
pushing Mincha off an extra half hour
No,
today.
okay.
Yay!
Okay, you're live.
That was a lie. Close the shade. Close the shade. Want the shade closed? Whatever happens in this class stays in this class, right? Nobody should look at it. All right, ladies. Sorry to make you. Just gotta move along. Okay, close it. Guys, you want to watch the shades getting closed? It's very sharp.
You want it?
David makes everything happen. I think the glare. I'm not sure. This was a request from the ladies. All right, ladies, let's go. Let's learn Torah. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Let's start with first the dedication. So today's dedication is a refuah shleima for a very special person, Leah Bat Regine, which is being sponsored by Limor and Ralph Madev. It's Ralph's mother. She should have refuah shleima. She should feel well, bekarov, and hopefully today's learning will, have its impact. Okay, so I prepared an enormous amount, Murphy's Law, Dafka, an enormous amount. And the reason is because I was told yesterday that there is a chance, so everybody make their plans, there's a very good chance right now that I'm going to have to be running a Purim program next Wednesday at this time. So, but please double check before you come. Right now I'm told it's more than 50-50, which means probably yes. So call before. And then we can have that also not. Yes. You can come and be part of the program. Please, there's a good chance we're having a concert, dancing, things like that. Following up, definitely not here. Shushan Purim in Israel. But, okay, so everybody just check it out before you come. I don't know if you're on the WhatsApp, that's fantastic. If not, you can call the secretary. We're 377-1100. And the secretary will tell you if I'm here or not. Okay? Everybody have sheets? We're good? So I prepared an enormous amount, but we'll do the best we can. But a lot of today is, a lot of the booklet is self-explanatory. So even if I don't get to everything, please take it home. And I'm sure you'll do a better job explaining it than I do. So we'd love to have you. Okay. What I want to do today, I'm going to do a little bit left over from last week. It's one of my favorite psukim. And then I found something new that excites me. But what's going to happen today is we're going to see, especially in the first piece, how every word in the Torah could teach us an enormous amount of lessons. It's just amazing to me the depth of the Torah, and you're going to see it with me. So right away, this is last week's Parsha. You can say it at the table if you want. You can just say it's leftovers, because you're probably serving leftovers anyway, so you might as well be learning leftovers. I didn't mean that. It's okay. But it's really special. Here we go. You ready? So this is something that I've done before, but something new with it. So, in last week's Parsha, which was Parashat Mishpatim, it talks about two mitzvot. One is Hashavat Aveidah, so it starts on the top. If you happen to come, you're walking down the street and you bump into your enemy's bull. I don't think that ever happened to anybody here yet? Anybody? Maybe not a bull, maybe a cow or a horse? Okay, so this is something that was very common then. Okay, find somebody's wallet. But you notice it says Oyivcha, your enemy's bull. Okay, we'll get to that. Or his horse, or his donkey, To'eh. Hashem Shivelo is called Hashavat Aveidah. It's a very important concept. Person is not supposed to ignore it. That's Pasuk Dal. Pasuk Hey, and that's the main one. Now, look at the words carefully, guys. It's fun. Ki tirech hamor sonacha. If you see your enemy's donkey, rovetz tachat masao, lying under its burden, which means it's an animal, and it has a tremendous amount of stuff on it. Again, what word does it use? It's interesting that it changed the words. It says your soneh, your enemy. This next line doesn't make sense, but you'll see soon. V'chadalta, ani chadal, lafsik, it means to stop. V'chadalta me'azov lo. What does azov mean?
Leave it be.
Okay, so stop from leaving him. Azov ta'azovimo. Leave him. What's going on? This is open Torah, open pasuk. So let's take one step at a time. before I get to the words, this mitzvah is the mitzvah of helping your friend ease the burden off an animal. Sideshow, a second of a sideshow. From this pasuk we learn. From this pasuk says Chacham Ovadia Yosef that if you go to Spain, you're not allowed to go to see the bullfights. He paskined that. Somebody asked Chacham Ovadia, we're going to Spain for a, now I don't think you can go anywhere anymore, girls, but.
Because of Tzar
Oh, say it loud and clear.
Ba'alei Chayim.
Yafé מאוד. There is an Isur called Tzar Ba'alei Chayim, and according to almost every rabbi, it's deoraita from this pasuk, which means the unnecessary pain of an animal is recognized by the Torah from this pasuk. Sideshow. And therefore, if it's necessary, you have to kill the animal in order to get shoes or whatever you want to go yourself, or that's necessary. That's not unnecessary. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
Apropos Tzar Ba'alei Chayim.
Yes.
On Yom Kippur, they throw a goat off a cliff
Yes.
as
Yes.
to Satan.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a sort of a double question. A, why does Satan need a
Okay,
korban?
I don't know about the Satan part,
Okay.
so let's leave that out.
And what about Tzar Ba'alei Chayim?
What about shoes?
Tzar Ba'alei
What about
Chayim,
shoes?
when they
Why are you
throw-
killing an animal to wear what you're wearing right now? What's the answer? Because it's a necessity. God says this is a necessity for the ceremony of what we need. That's a necessity. Necessities are an interesting concept. But this was a sideshow. We're not getting stuck on the sideshow. There is an Isur Tzar Ba'alei Chayim. In addition, this is a pasuk that teaches us that if I'm driving down the New Jersey Turnpike, or I'm driving down, well, I would never stop the Turnpike. If I'm driving down the thruway and I see somebody stuck with a flat tire, I'm supposed to stop and help them. A lot of great stories. You know the Donald Trump story? You guys remember that? Famous story with Donald Trump before he was president. Guy was driving down true story. A Colo guy was driving down the Garden State to Lakewood, and he sees this beautiful limo stuck with and he gets out of his car, and he sees this guy trying to fix it, the driver. So he goes, "You want help?" He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, and he helps him, very nice. And he says, "One second, my boss wants to say thank you." And the tinted window goes down, it was Donald Trump. And he goes, "That's so nice, let me give you a reward." He goes, "No, I'm a Jew, and this is what I do." That's a song, okay. And very nice. He goes, "Where do you live?" This, okay, fine, very nice. The next Shabbos, he gets a bouquet of flowers and a card that says, "Thank you so much, your mortgage has been paid." That was the story. Of course, the addendum to the story that all the Lakewood wives started sending their husbands driving up and down the highway. But that was the story. I don't know. That's what I was told. It made the rounds in Lakewood. So very nice. So very nice. So I like this. It's a great pasuk, right? Except that the words don't make sense. The concept is, it's great. Okay, so let's start with the problems. Problem number one, which is not such a serious problem. Why does the Torah have to say the enemy of my friend? The donkey of my enemy. But how do we understand the rest of the pasuk? So I'm going to first go to, and this I've done, but then something brand new. Azov. Mazel azov. To leave, to abandon. Says Rashi, right away it bothers him. Says Rashi, Yitzhahar is working overtime today. It says, Aziva is an expression of help. La'azov is the first part, you know, La'azov really means what? It means to help. How do I know? Because it says in Kings, wherever it is, and similarly, that they strengthened Yerushalayim with the wall. So the word la'azov, is also means to help. So the pasuk here really means help him out. Everybody happy? Mm-hmm. Not I. Why do you have to be like, if you want to say help, use the word azar. So you use the word azov, right? And find the pasuk somewhere in Jiddiesville, right? That means la'azor. That's the second question. That question is easily answered. And this is what I've always said, and now something new. You know what the Torah is saying? Of course you have to help somebody who's not your enemy. You have to help everybody. But if I have somebody who I don't really like, look for an opportunity to do an act of chesed to them, and hopefully that will dissipate, that will make the hatred go away. That's Azov. God is hinting to us. How do you deal with somebody who really doesn't like you? How do you deal with somebody who you don't really like? We don't want you walking around like that. That would be a great idea. Try to do something nice to them. And if the opportunity arises, go there. I want to show you how deep Allah would this goes. Ready? There's a whole discussion in the Gemara. Who should you go first to? And of course, if it's a soneh or an ohev, it says a soneh. And the Gemara discusses, what about unloading and loading, where unloading has Tsar Ba'alei Chayim, and they say that when it's even maybe against Tsar Ba'alei Chayim, you should go to your soneh. That's how far it goes. Yeah, quick, please. You don't mind.
Yeah, but this is oyev. This is not soneh. Oyev is an Arab, is an oyev.
No, Shama Katu. עכשיו אני מדבר on hay. Every Arab is an oyev. Wow, what a racist statement. Okay, soneh. Yeah.
Can be an oyev.
What's that?
An Arab can be an oyev, not every Arab.
No, of course not. Yeah, I understand. Okay, let's deal with hay. I don't know exactly what, because Mazeh Soneh. Mi mutar lisno. Who are you allowed to hate?
Nobody.
Oh, okay, but it does say Soneh. Okay, so let's go. So that's why it says what? Azov, Tazov. Everybody got it? Happy? Great lesson. Got through. Here's brand new. What does Mechadal Tam Azov look? So look at the English. You know where the English got it from? From Rashi. You don't see where the English did? He made a question mark out of it. Is that fascinating? Rashi says that. It's like telling a story to your kids. Watch. If you go down the road and you see somebody needs help, you're not going to help him. Of course you should help him. What a Jewish way to tell a story. But that Rashi says that. And that's how Rashi gets out of it. But it's strange, no? So I'm going to tell you the whole middle very quick by heart. Do you notice something different between the words? And I just noticed it, by the way. V'chalvalta ma'azov lo, azov ta'azov imo. Lo and imo. What is the difference between lo and imo? Nunu?
With and loves too.
Good girl. Lo means, what's he doing? Nothing. You're doing it to him. Emo means with him. So I saw a beautiful shot. V'chadalta, he needs help. Your first step is to make sure that he is part of the helping process. Don't not enable somebody to do something to help themselves. That's the other part of this message. Look at the bottom, the kliyakar, all the way to the, you see two paragraphs. See the kliyakar? Yeah. Okay, sociological comment. I don't know, why am I yelling? From here we see a rebuttal to some poor people in our nation who throw themselves upon the community to provide their needs. But they themselves are unwilling to do any kind of work, that even though they are able-bodied. They do not want to lift a finger to support themselves, but turn to others and say, it is your mitzvah, and give me tzedakah. So Hashem says, okay, here's somebody who needs help. Step one, don't always, girls, I'm going to say something, please don't. Don't always be an enabling parent. I'm guilty of that. I am guilty of that. Especially to our youngest. I mean, I will do anything for her. He goes, I'll drive you. No, I'll get it for you. Not always helpful. Not always helpful. Not always educational. Sometimes we have to teach our children they have to fend for themselves sometimes. And that's what God is saying here. Not like Rashi. Says the V'chadalta, stop. What? You guys get it? Me'azov, azov means help. Lo. If he's not doing anything. The best thing is, azov. With him. Avi, the guy's in the hospital and he can't move. You help it. Nobody said that. But that should be your first and top. And how do I know that's right? I mean, who do I know? Because the Kliyakar says so. But who else says that? You know who else says that. What's the most famous? If somebody learns anything about Hilchot, Tzedakah, and charity, the first thing they learn is the 8 levels of the Rambam. Take a look. You know that. Obviously, the levels are going down to the right. I don't know why. But Maimonides' 8 levels of charity, the greatest level, girls, above which there is no greater, is to support a fellow Jew by endowing him with a gift or a loan, and entering into a partnership or finding employment for him. Why do I have to find him employment? Here's the money. No. Work. That's what we want to do. Besides feeling good for yourself, because that's what Hashem wants. And that's what I think is the message. So I think it was listen to all these messages from 3 words. Just a switch in the words. Interesting. I have to tell you, just on this topic, then I'm done. You could turn the page. I didn't write it down, but there's a very fascinating halacha in Hilchot Shabbat. 2 weeks ago, we talked about analyzing, we talked about how important Shabbat is and everything beautiful. The saying is, Asay Shabbatcha. It was in your sophomore year. Asay, remember you got it right. Asay Shabbatcha chol ve'al titzarech labriot. Which means, Kavod Shabbat is very important. But if you can't afford it, spend less. Do not spend, even for Shabbat, irresponsible. We're not interested in you going into debt for even a mitzvah. You can buy a bottle of wine for $10, and you can buy one for $500. If you can't afford the $500, don't say Shabbos. We're not interested. Because we'd rather you not have to go al titzarech labriot, which means don't have to come on to other people. That's our message. We're against a welfare state. We're not interested. We're interested in you being responsible for what it is that you have to spend. So that's the concept, that's the lesson. Go. This week's parsha, page 2, guys. Let's go, 7 more. Okay, I don't know if we'll make it. All right, what's this week's parsha? Teruma. So first of all, I saw something also fascinating. That all these are all little discrete messages that Hashem is sending us. Often we want to know what is the connection between something before and something after. So last week was Mishpatim. What is the connection between the end of Mishpatim and now all of a sudden Hashem, because even chronologically speaking, not everybody agrees. I don't want to mess your head up, but there's a whole discussion of when the Egel Hazahah happened. Did it happen right before Mishkan or after they started the Mishkan? I'm not going there right now because it's complicated, not that you can't handle it, it's just that I don't have time now. Is there a specific connection between the end of last week's Parsha? And there is. The end of last week's Parsha, Hashem said something. He said, I'm offering you the Torah. And the Jew said something really, really big. Lori, can you do me a favor? So I just asked Lori to do me a favor. What did you say?
She said, Nasa v'nishma.
Good girl. You got it. And you fell for it. Yeah. I know who to ask, Lori.
I said no.
I tried this in another class and they said, no. So I just asked Lori to do me a favor and you responded?
Yes, please.
What didn't you ask me?
What is it?
Right. So Lori didn't say to me, what is it? How can you say yes to something if you don't know what it is? Right? So this is called interactive class. That's how this is called. Yeah. So at the end of last week, right here, you see this is chapter 25, which is this week's parsha. Last week's parsha is chapter 24. The end of last week's parsha. Vayikav sefer habrit vayikra lo ze'am vayamru kol asher diber Hashem na'aseh v'nishma. We were on such a level of inspiration that was unbelievable. We're ready. We're in. God, we're in. We're all in. We don't even know what we're in for, but we love you. We trust you. We're in. That's a very high level. You know what God is teaching us now? You're inspired. You're ready. Do something. Do something. You're at a high level of Kiddusha. It's not enough just to be on that high level, like the end of Kippur, and go home and eat cheesecake and forget everything I just said. No, I'm serious. You gotta, you gotta nail it. You gotta do something. Right after that, which is kind of interesting, I don't mean this as a joke. What did God do? He just made a great speech, and then he did the building campaign. It's like in shul, the rabbi gives a speech, everybody, okay, now, let's donate. That's exactly what he did. So inspiration needs to be translated into physical action. Perashat Teruma follows Mishpatim, in which we read the famous words. Everybody got that, right? Whenever a person is spiritually aroused, I'm running because I really want to get a lot in. It is very important that he or she concentrate. No, how do you do that? Concretize, right? To make it concrete. That inspiration by practical action to channel the arousal and give a tangible physical manifestation. I'm going to tell you a very disturbing, I'm debating, a very disturbing medrash. It might disturb you, but we're all disturbed anyway. So let's move. And I never understood it until somebody put it in this context. I didn't want to write it down because it's a very disturbing midrash. At the Akedah, look it up. Hashem sends the malach, and the malach says to Abraham, right? Al tishlach yadcha el hanar. Do not put your. And then it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I just have to confiscate it. You get it back at the end of the day. Al tishlach yadcha el hanar. Don't put your hand on the boy. Anybody the next part? Ve'al taseh or ta'as lo me'uma. And don't do anything. It's redundant. Look at Rashi. It's disturbing. He was told, don't touch it. Don't put your hand. Abraham says, can I just nick him? That's what it says.
Yeah.
Like nick him. And they go, no, don't even nick him, because I don't want anybody to think that I want you to do sacrifice. What's Abraham thinking? And I heard it in this context. Abraham was trying to teach us forever that if you're up to a top inspiration, you're there, and you don't do something, of course he doesn't want to kill his kid, but something to remember this, something to make the action happen, you lose that inspiration. But even though so, God said not to do it, because in that sense he didn't want it to be anybody's thought that it was sacrifice. Past that. So this is, I'm sorry? It is disturbing. I told you I was going to, you think I'm lying? I told you I was going to disturb you. But that was the lesson. So it's the same lesson here. And then, okay, this is between your dream and reality. It's called action. I like that a lot. It's not mine. The Baal Shem Tov, for this topic, and we're ending this one, brings a pasuk. It's an eicha. All right. So, I'm not that smart anyways. I don't know a lot of psukim, but I definitely don't remember eicha psukim, because I know, eicha is when we eat Tisha B'Av, we're on the floor and we're saying, is it over yet? That one. He quotes a pasuk that's so beautiful, saying this topic. Guys, you should take this pasuk and put it somewhere in your house. It's in the third parak of eicha, pasuk 41. Nisa livavenu el kapayim el bashamayim. It even rhymes. Let us lift up our hearts to our hands and then to God. It's not enough just to lift up the hearts, which is beautiful. But lift up the hearts, but then bring it into what? Into your hands, and then make the hands do something for Shema. It's such a beautiful thought, which is true. It is true. There's so many such examples. I just came off 9th grade freshman seminar. We keep saying this at the seminars. we love each other. We're never going to say anything bad to somebody. And then Monday morning, no one's talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, that's not true. But is this permanent or is it not permanent? Did you change or didn't you change? Are you doing something about this? Like I'm all inspired. I see this movie. Okay. I showed a video. I really should show you this video. It's just like, it's whatever. It's from Germany. It's whatever. I'll tell you the video. You should look it up. I don't know the name of it because it's in German. They showed a video about an elderly man getting a phone call from his kids that they're not coming for the holidays. Not the Jewish holidays. When that's near Hanukkah, that's not Jewish. It starts with a C. And they say, no, we can't come, Papa. We're busy. And the next scene is, it's like a minute and a half. The next scene is, he's sitting alone having the dinner. Alone, with candles. The next scene is, you see his kids different kids in 3 different parts of the world, very busy, getting a notification that it looks like Papa passed away, you know? And so they get it, and then the other child gets it, and like the person stops, you know, for a minute. And he goes into a cab, and then all of a sudden you see them coming to the house, and they're hugging each other, and they walk into the house, and on the table is set with candles and dishes and everything. And all of a sudden, Papa comes out of the living room. And they're like, and he says in German, but on the bottom it says, how else would it have gotten you to be here for the holiday? Yeah. So every kid said, oh my God, you know, I got to go visit my grandma. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy they were inspired. I'm happy they said this. I'm happy they thought like that. Did they visit anybody on Sunday, or was it just back to the phone? Okay, so that's the lesson. It's a big lesson. It's an important lesson. And then we got to move on with lessons. Okay.
In our community, there is no such thing. We gather a lot.
No, we're beautiful, the community. 100%.
Thank God.
In my community, too, we're beautiful. Okay.
And the one of Brooklyn, all the community of Brooklyn.
Some people in Queens are nice also.
Very good.
Okay, here we go. Ready? I'm going to concentrate on one word. And this one word is going to take 3 pages. But the concept, and I'll do the best I can. Again, the rest of the stuff in this booklet are really self-explanatory. You can do it at home. Okay? Just don't do it on your own. Be safe. Okay? So the Torah tells us, go back to the top of the page. Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Israel, turn to the people of Israel. I told you, this was the campaign to build the Mishkan. What word bothers me? One word. Daber el bnei Israel ve'yikhu li truma. Every rabbi asks this question. Girls, I'm making a campaign. I need you to give me. Not you give you. It says ve'yikhu li. It should say yitnu li. So let's go to town. And I want to connect it to Purim, because I might not have the class next week for those who came late. So let's do something about Purim. Okay, let's turn. Look at the bottom. Winston Churchill, very famous. We know it. Here we go. We make a living by what we get. We make a living by what we give. Here we go. I'd like to tell you a chidush in the song that you sing. You want to sing it, girls? Misha, 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 Misha. Okay, so today's Rosh Chodesh. Today's Rosh Chodesh Adar. Today's real Rosh Chodesh Adar. So it's Misha Nichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. Okay, the phrase is, in the month of Adar, we should increase our joy and take it in simple meaning, and we should act and be more joyous, right? So that's what it sounds like. I should be more happy. By the way, just a thought process. Girls, be happy now. How do I do this? Go to a better place for lunch? No, be happy is it's a song, you know. How do I go about being happy? Which bothered me on the side. There are days that are days.
Think about nice things.
Yeah. So that's it. Since if I get up and I'm not in a good mood, I should just think about nice things.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Julie Andrews. Congratulations. Rainbow. Yeah. Does it work? And I shouldn't do that on Tishrei? Okay, so that always bothered me. What also bothered me is Marbim B'Simcha is not really the way I would have said it. Girls, if I say, I want you to be happy, go ahead, tell me. To you smechin, right? Or Yoter Simcha B'Chaim. Marbim, the Simcha is like a general thing. Marbim, we're increasing joy. Okay. So I'd like to show you the secret what I think this means. And it really is what it means. There are two conflicting, not conflicting. Two comparative. Okay, in the story of Purim, there are 2 key lines that are in the Megillah that really complement each other. The pasuk that got us into trouble, and the pasuk that got us out of trouble. Top, number 8. Vayomer Haman. This is when the problem starts, right? We all follow Megillah. We enjoy Megillah. Haman turns to Achashverosh and he says, Yeshno am echad lefuzar u'miforad bein ha'amim. there is a certain people in New York, in America, in the Galut, in Bavel, that are scattered. Let's destroy them. Says the Gemara. Every rabbi agrees. What was the hidden meaning in the Megillah when Haman said it? Come on, girls, what is it? We were not unified. There was lack of unity amongst the Jews at the time. And because of the lack of unity, Haman had the potential to destroy us. Because we learned last week that the only time we are a special nation, remember, if we are Ki'ish Echad, B'lev Echad. Did Haman know it? I don't know. Did he tap on it? I don't know. But the fact is, that is what the hint is. Everybody says so. It's on the bottom in English. Just because it says so on the sheet doesn't make it real. It's real. What is the complementary or the antonym? Pasuk. Okay, so this is when the trouble started, right? Girls, tell me by heart. When did the salvation start? At what point? When who said what to whom? There you go. When Mordechai was able to convince Esther to go speak to Achashverosh, she agreed. Nachon? And what was the first thing she said? Right there, number 9. Vatomer Esther lehashiv el Mordechai. Lech kinos et kol ha-Yehudim ha-nimtzaim b'Shushan. Kinos et kol ha-Yehudim. What does that mean, kinos? Gathered. What does she want to do with that? She wants to bring unity. And that is why we have something called Ta'anit Esther. Why is it so important? Because when you have a fast day, you have to stop and think about what's important and what's not important. That's the goal, by the way, of a fast day. You have to teach this to your children. The goal is not to be harmed. The goal is not to feel pain. I'm really sorry. Because if that's what the rabbis wanted us to do, put thumbtacks in your shoes and walk around. Okay? We don't believe in that. We don't believe in giving ourselves inflicting pain. The goal of fasting, and that's why Kippur is even more, is we need a moment to stop from our physical pursuits, from things that make us crazy. What makes us crazy? Eating and drinking, which symbolize materialism. And on Kippur, this is everything. No makeup, no shoes. The goal is to stop for a moment and think what's important. But the word kinos, you guys with me? Is the opposite of the word mifuzah. Okay, so that's the bottom, so you don't have to do all that. What am I showing you? Purim is the time to increase unity amongst the Jewish people. That's the holiday of Purim. That's what we need to do. How do I know that's true for sure? Next page. Can you explain to me Mishloach Manot? I don't understand it. I understand Megillat Esther. Megillah, we have to read historically what happened. Everybody needs to know. Got it. I understand the meal, right? The Sudah, they wanted to kill us. I mean, that's basically all Jewish holidays, right? They wanted to kill us, we got saved, let's eat. I mean, that's the Jewish holidays. I got Sudah. I even understand Matanot Le'Evyonim, right? You want to help others, enjoy the what? Very nice. That's Mishloach Manot. Don't tell me that I'm helping other people. Don't say that to me because I drop off, not this year, but I'm always this. We sometimes drop off Mishloach Manot people that clearly don't need my Mishloach Manot. All right? We don't give Mishloach Manot to poor people. We do not. We give it to people on our block. As a matter of fact, the best Mishloach Manot I ever had was a neighbor. This was her Mishloach Manot. Pastrami sandwich, a pickle, and a Coke. I loved it. That was the best Mishloach Manot. She used to do it every year. I used to look forward to it. What did I feel about that person when she gave me that?
Grateful.
Love. No, I'm serious now. Okay, I love that. Wow, you really care about me so much. What are we doing? We're increasing unity. That's why there's a mitzvah, and only on Purim. You know Mishloach Manot on Pesach? You know Mishloach Manot on Rosh Hashanah even? Purim is Mishloach Manot. Because that's the goal. We have to not fight. We have to symbolize what the problem was. Are you guys sold? You there? Am I going too fast? No, we're not too fast, right? So that's what that says. Mishloach Manot says the Gizgit. Yes?
When Yom
That's nice, because Esav, could be. I think he was just trying to save his life, by the way. But yeah. He was doing the old kiss-up situation, which makes sense. But yes, could be. But here I'm not sending Mishloach Manot to Esav. I'm sending it to Yankelov, my next door neighbor. And the goal isn't tzedakah. That's not the goal. The goal is to increase brotherhood, sisterhood. That's the goal. Everybody with me so far? I'm going to show you how the word simcha is connected to giving and not to taking. Holidays, the Torah says, v'samachta, come on, you sing it. V'samachta, right? B'chageh. Samachta, b'chageh. So I actually wrote the whole Rambam. I didn't need to, but it was so nice. I printed it. I just wanted to show you. So let's first go. I'm not going to do the whole thing, and we are moving. Love it. And so it says in Deuteronomy, we're looking at Samachta b'chageh. Look at the English. Deuteronomy, and you shall rejoice in your festivals. That's v'samachta b'chageh. So the verb is what? Simcha. Good. I let this in, and I kept it in because I thought girls, you would love it. Can you look at 18 for a moment? And there's nothing to do with us, just something I want you to take home and show your husbands. What is implied? Children should, so how do I fulfill the mitzvah of simcha on the holiday? Children should be given roasted seeds, nuts, and sweets. Family owners should put this on the top of their thing. Kids should get pekalach. Kids should get candy. Ready? Anybody want to read this to me? For women, one should buy attractive clothes and jewelry. Rambam. Open Rambam. No, I'm very serious. Open Rambam. How does a man fulfill the mitzvah of simcha on holiday? By buying his wife jewelry. According to their financial needs. All right. Financial needs, right? Is that what you meant? Of course. Oh, no. That's not, yeah. Okay. Can I be tough? I'll be tough. Instead of buying the $500 wine for Simchat Torah, take the $500 and buy your wife jewelry. Don't give me this financial needs, missus. I don't know how it is in the Ashkenaz, in the Sephardi. What was the dips are in the Ashkenaz community? We spent like $400 on different types of herring and different types of dips. No, that's what's in there. Yeah, and right, pomegranate, right. Now you go to pomegranate, you got to go to the second mortgage. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so the Torah says, you don't think it's worth coming to class today? Sure. Okay. Now, last one. When a person eats and drinks of celebration of a holiday, he is obligated to feed, and again, what did we say last week? Converts doesn't mean only converts. It means people who are new. Orphans, widows, and others who are destitute and poor. In contrast, the person who locks the gates of his courtyard and eats and drinks with his children and his wife without feeding the poor and the embittered, here we go, he is not rejoicing associated with a mitzvah, but he's rejoicing his gut. That's not simcha. So I have a proof for you openly that the word simcha is associated, think about it, this is Torah, with giving.
To share.
And not taking. Right. It's a big deal. Big deal. So simcha really is giving. Now basically I can put it all together just for a minute before I go to the other ones. I think you got my answer already. The reason it says the chuli truma is because the essence, right, of really giving tzedakah, right, I'm going to get by giving. That's what I'm going to get. But the point here is that Mishenichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha, you know what I think it means? Don't get, I mean, you were right. Yes. I don't mean to. Yes, you should try to get yourself in a good mood. But when I don't care about your mood. You know what you have to do in Adar? Make others happy. Marbim B'Simcha. Increase happiness in everybody else's life. And that you could do even if you're in a bed. That's doable. That is doable. Walk around saying more good morning. Walk around saying more nice things. And it makes sense because that's the whole goal of Adar. Just like Mishloach Manot, to counteract what happened on Purim. That's what I think it means, Marbim B'Simcha. Sold? And that we could do? Okay. I want to show you, I've done this source, and I love this source. I heard this from Rabbi Blumenkrantz, may he rest in peace. He's one of my son-in-law's father. He's not alive. He was a great rabbi. He said this at our children's Sheva Brachos, and I loved it. And this is years ago. I always remember it. I don't know if you ever saw this source. It's all the way in Devarim. Kids never get to it in school. A person who got top of 5. I'm top of 5 already. Person who gets married, Isha Chadasha, Lo Yatsa B'Tzavah, he doesn't go to the army, and he doesn't go for 1 year. You've done this with me. It's called Shana Rishona. You ever heard about Shana Rishona? So there's certain things you don't do Shana Rishona. Everybody know what I'm talking about, yeah? Shana Rishona, is that better? Okay, good. So on the first year, we don't do it. Very nice. What should he do? What should he do the whole year, right? Okay, watch what it says. V'simach et ishto. That word v'simach has 2 potential meanings. Says Rashi. It says et ishto, right? It could mean with his wife. You see the Rashi? No? Yeah. Or it could use a direct object, namely his wife. Again, basically it either means he makes his wife happy or he's happy with his wife. Rabbi Blumenkrantz said, you know what it means? Both. One is a result of the other. If you make your wife happy, then you'll be happy. No, I'm very serious. Which means happiness comes by giving, not taking. And that's v'yichlu truma. And that's marbin b'simcha. And that's why there's an increase in joy. Because if I make you happy, I'm going to be happy too. It's a beautiful shot. No, happy wife, happy life. I understand. No, but it means that, somebody once told me, I'm going to share this, I've said this before. He went to Israel with me, whatever, and his wife didn't go. And he was there, we had free time, and he was running around. I said, what are you doing? He says, I'm really enjoying myself. I thought it was a chesed mission. I go, what? He goes, I'm spending 2 hours this time. What should I buy for my wife? That's a beautiful thing. You're enjoying because you're excited. You're excited to want to make your wife happy. And that's beautiful. And that makes you happy. And that's what it means. Okay. Rabbi Dessler is very famous. I've said this before. He analyzes the concept of being a noten, a giver. Okay, I can skip this. You can read this yourself. You can read it yourself. Read it yourself. I wish I had more time, because I'm going to mention something that Rabbi Prak always says, and with all due respect, okay, I'm going to spend 2 minutes on this. Okay, whatever, okay. I'm going to spend 2 minutes on this. People ask me, how do I feel about boyfriend, girlfriend in high school? It's a loaded question. It's not so simple. I mean, the truth is, it's very distracting. I don't mean anything negative. I mean, it's distracting and sometimes, okay, whatever. One of the things that bothers me about it is that I think it's the wrong type of love. I've never been a girl, so I don't know how it is. But from a boy's perspective, having a girlfriend in high school is a status symbol. It is, just a status. So discreetly or not even subconsciously, it's a little bit like it's taking. It's a taking love. It's not a giving love. And love really is about giving, not taking. So the famous thing that Rabbi Prague always says, and it's in there, right? Guy goes into a shop. Guys, you could read it yourself. I'm jumping because I want to get everything done. Guy goes, he goes, I want to order fish. Why? He says, I love fish. This is Rabbi Prague's line. He goes, really? You don't love fish. If you love fish, you throw them back into the water. You love yourself, and fish make you happy. That's Dessler's point. So if you're really going out with somebody, you might love them, but you don't love them. You love yourself, and they make you happy. And it's a very deep concept. It's about giving and taking. It's a big deal. Think about it. It's a nice conversation to have. And with all due respect, that's why I think, to a degree, most of these relationships, most, not all, don't really last that long. Because if you constantly take, it's yucky. Because at some point, it dries up. You want to be a giver. Giving, you can give for the rest of your life. Okay, everybody's looking at me funny. Okay, here we go. 15, one of my favorite pieces on this, and then we're almost done with this. So there's a pasuk when Hashem created Adam and Chava, when he created Chava, that if you've never heard this, you really should look at it. It says so beautifully. Al Kain, therefore, Ya'azov ish et aviv et imo. Once a person gets married, he leaves his father and his mother, and he clings to his wife, and they are one flesh. Why would God say this? Why would God point out that a person is leaving their parents? What is very, very... What did I do wrong? Okay. Yeah. Oh.
My father says this a lot.
Oh, okay. But why does he? Why did Hashem just say? Now that they're married, he could have just said, right? Why is God pointing out something that's so bittersweet? It's such a bittersweet feeling. You're leaving your parents? Why would God say you're leaving your parents? So Rabbi Dessler says, you ready? Because when a person is a child, what mode are they in? Taking. And the first thing a person has to realize when they get married, Ya'azov, babe, leave it, right? You're out of taking. You are now in the giving mode. It's a new relationship. Even though today, they all got married and they all came back to us. I don't know what's going on. But the relationship with the wife has to be given. Yes?
But Hashem did it in Nachmanot. He said it when there were no father and mother.
Excellent. All right, we got that. Food for thought, because I really want to get to the next page. Food for thought. What's the first prime example of chesed story in the Torah of a human?
Hashem giving the
Human.
garments to
No, human doing chesed.
human.
Yeah, that was very good. Excellent. Yes, Hashem to them. Right. But we said it in this class. Yes. I'm looking for the first chesed that a human did to others. Abraham Avinu, hachnasat orchim. Did you ever notice? Look what it says. I just thought this was interesting once we said everything we just said. Vayomer, he turns to the angel. Okay, most people say, okay. He turns to the three guys and he says, please don't leave, right? You guys see it? Bottom of 5? Is everybody with me? Yeah. Okay. 16. He says, Yukach na ma'at mayim. Right? What's Yukach? Right? Yukach. I'm going to take water. And what's the next word? Virachatzu. He didn't say, I'll take the water and wash the thing, right? He should have said, here's the water, right? And then he goes, I'm going to take, and look at the next pasuk. Hey, he should have said, I'm going to give you a pat lechem, and you're going to eat. He says, I'm going to take it. It's the same concept. But any chesed that we do, and there's a very beautiful thing that I didn't write down. Did you go to remember? And they are Torah. Show me an inconsistency grammatically. Come on.
Well, one is a noun, the other is doing. It's a
Torah. Oh, okay. It could have said chesed. You're saying.
Yeah.
Fair. That's another one. Good. Give me another one. Easier than that.
No, one is, they're all singular.
Except for the last one. Right? Doesn't say, right? Torah, avodah, chesed. That's plural. Say the rabbis, there is no such thing as a single chesed. There's no such thing. The moment you do chesed to somebody else, you do chesed. Automatic. There's no such thing, and that's why it's double. Okay, next page. 8 minutes. Here we go. There's something called Tish. Why it started being called Tish, I don't know. I do know. I started, so I know. In Hasidic world, the Hasidic rabbi comes after the meal, and he has his meal, and all the Hasidim come, and they sing, and they listen to the rabbi speak. We instituted this seminar. It's a later night, Friday night, where people get together, and they speak. Either Divrei Torah, something inspiration. One of the kids, they say a lot of things. I didn't write something that was very personal. Some of the kids say some beautiful things. In this topic, so one of these, her name is Robin Cohen. You know who she is, okay? Yvette's the mother. Allie's the father. So she spoke about how she worked with a special needs child, okay? Listen to what she said. I just took the last piece, okay? It's our topic. She was talking about the kid, and I got him to respect me. Okay, right. So she worked with the child. In that moment, I realized, everybody see, 17, yeah? I had to form a relationship with this boy for him to respect and trust me. In time, and with love and patience, our bond grew, and the boy and I formed a relationship that will hopefully last a lifetime. Listen to the poem she did. She got help from her uncle. Her uncle is Yaakov Schweck. I heard a beautiful poem written by a mom with a special child. You've taught me how to love. You've taught me how how to cry. You've taught me what purity is. It's the mom speaking to the special needs child. You've taught me the real truth. You've taught me what real joy was. And she goes on and on about what she learned. She writes at the end, so who's the teacher? You or I? This mother thought she was going to teach her child everything. He had a disability. Isn't that how it should go? Little did she know that sometimes we think we're going to have to be on the giving end, but ultimately you get so much more in return. It took time for me to see that this is the girl saying, the more I gave, the more I actually gave. And on not such a serious point, seniors are advisors for these seminars. The seniors, the first thing I do when I have a meeting, because when they come into seminar for the last 4 years, not as an advisor, they're takers. And the first speech I say is, change your mode. You are now a giver. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that.
What did she say?
Wow, you fluttered my heart.
What did you say?
So I make up a secret word that if I see 5 advisors talking to each other and not to others, I turn to them and I say, not your cheese, not Joe cheese. It's not your seminar, it's not Joe cheese. All my secrets are out there. I can't tell you how many advisors came to me and said, forget about that, I have to be right. I felt it. This was the best seminar I ever had. Giving is better than taking. You feel better. You feel good. I mean, you end up taking. But if your goal is giving, there's nothing better than that. Right, Jeans? Nothing better than coaching volleyball. Better than playing volleyball. All right, 4 minutes. We're going to go until they get me in. I'm going to do this as fast as I can. What can I tell you? You do what you can, okay? All right, this is a famous thing. I've done this, but I really want to do it because I might not be here for 2 weeks, so let's just get it done. This week's Perashat Teruma and Tetzaveh and Vayakhel and Day, they talk about the Mishkan and they talk about the Kelim. One of the most important messages is coming up right now. And I even gave you an image, okay? I've done this before. This is really cool. See if you can catch it. Again, it's all those little things. So they're telling us, and you think, by the way, you think, okay, it's dry, they're telling me the measurement of the things that have nothing to do with my life. What does that have to do with me? Watch what it has to do with me. I mean, us. Asu Aaron. Aaron is to the right. Anybody see the Raiders of the Lost Ark? No one? Yes. Come on, don't be embarrassed. Yeah, that's where it's from. Okay, now. Asu Aaron and said she did. What was in the Aaron? The Luchot. And it was Amatayim v'chetzi arko, 2.5 cubits its length, Amah v'chetzi rachbo, cubit and a half is in, and Amah v'chetzi komato, and an Amah and a half its koma. What hits you? Why are you halving everything? I hated those math problems. No? Give me a problem. 5 and 3/8, just make it 6. What's the message? This is spirituality. The Aron represents spirituality because that's the Luchot. When it comes to spirituality, what should I always be saying to myself? I need to go higher, more. No one should ever walk around in life saying, I'm done. I'm done. I'm from enough. I've grown enough. I heard a beautiful pshat. Difference between Esav and Yaakov. Where does Esav come from? Don't tell me he was hairy. You can tell me he was hairy. What does that have to do with Esav? Asui. What's Asui? Done.
Perfect.
I am done. I'm full of hair. I don't need to grow anymore. Yaakov is always climbing. So the Torah, even in that very, very dry measurements, is teaching us something. And on the other page, it's written, you can see it yourself when you read it. Rav Pam said, I'm sure people here have learned Gemara. I'm not against women learning Gemara. Open the first page. What daf is the first page? Beis. Every Gemara starts with daf bet. Why are we starting with daf aleph? Rav Pam says, because when you learn Gemara or Torah, don't think you've done it all. You missed the first page. Keep learning. And that's the reason. That's the reason it starts with alphabet. Absolutely. So that's good. Everybody got the lesson? Because I really want to get this lesson in. And no one's in. Great. Okay, you guys with me? But the shulchan, which has the chalot on it, right? The one to the left, that represents materialistic food. You guys good? And therefore, let's take a look what it says in Pasuk Chav Gimel. V'asita shulchan atzei shitim. Okay, I'm excited now. Amatayim arko. Everybody see it? No. Page 6, yes? 15. 2 cubits its length. Why is it 2 cubits and not 1.5? Why? Because when it comes to what? Come on. Materialism, what should I say? Sameach b'chalko, whatever God gives me, I'm very happy. So 2 in its arko, right? 1 cubit in its width. We're rolling, right? What's the last one? 1.5. Its height. My whole theory and my Dvar Torah just went down the drain. Every woman in this class should know what is the most important job a human has. More than an angel. What is my job? To take the physical and do what? And elevate it. That's our job. Yes. So when it comes to money, we should say this way and that way, I'm enough. But this way? Oh, no. I can never do enough to elevate what I have to Hashem. You guys with me? Too fast? You guys okay? You good? Just to make this point, okay, I'm running, but I might not see it. Page 7, number 20. Purim is like Yom Kippur. There's a rabbi, he's there, he's not the only one. Do you know what his name is? The Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon is one of the most renowned rabbis of all time. He said that the word Kippur is based on the word Purim. And Yom Kippur is called Yom Kippurim. Are you listening to that? You know what Yom Kippur is? It's like, girls, a minute. I got to do this before they come. It's like Purim. That means what's more important? Purim. Kippur is like Purim. How can you tell me that Purim is more important than Yom Kippur? The answer is, if we fast all day and we pray all day, it's very important. It's not the highest. The highest is to eat, drink, and do that l'shem shamayim. That's the highest day of life. Too fast? You got it? All right. There's nice stories at the end, but read it yourself. All right. Please check. Trust me. Go, Victoria. If there's no class, if there is a class, I'm ready to have one. So double check. It will be on the WhatsApp and double check on the WhatsApp. Okay? Wow. Yeah. So did you see that emo and low? I haven't seen that yet. Azov, did you hear that first?
No. I know.
Azov,
That, yeah, but the other one never. Never. That was, you believe that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
We finally my club seminar. We really loved it. Thank you.
I don't know how to close this.
Okay.
You know how to close this?
I don't know either.
Does anybody know how to close this?
Wait, is it on right now?
Yes, it's on. Everything that you're telling me is on this.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you come. Okay. Thank you.
She was here on Friday to see the new building.
Oh,
and she
did
was
like
so
it?
disappointed that you weren't seminar, but she